Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Trilogy Media podcast. My name is Ashton.
My name is Art.
This is our very first episode, and we are going to talk about all kinds of,
Great.
I don't know.
You're so natural. Natural 9,
Well,
Ashton.
then you do it, bitch.
Natural 9.
I don't know how to intro a podcast. I'm never going to learn. We're here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Art and Ashton. This is our first ever podcast, and this is what's gonna happen. This is what you're gonna listen to.
We are a lot of things. Some people call us clowns. Some people call
great.
us idiots.
Speak for yourself,
Shit
Ashton.
detectives. We're also two personalities on a YouTube channel called Trilogy Media. We like to waste scammers' time. We like to expose corruption, expose shitty human beings, and sometimes we get heat for it, but it's what we love, and we love to make content that entertains people. And right now we're going to talk about a lot of shit. How I met this 6'5" Russian Goomba, how maybe some dealings with the cartel might be involved in this podcast.
The call, how did we start? Like, what happened? How did you open Trilogy Media? What made you go into scam baiting? And we do have a viral video that basically...
The original viral video that started it all. We're going to dive into all of this.
Yeah, if you want to know, like, our, adventures, the art, what in America?
Oh,
what is
found
this?
something in preparation for this that I just told him about is his very first script he ever wrote about himself in America from 11, 12 years ago.
Burn that and bury that.
I'm going to print it, frame it, and read it to you daily.
Please don't. Anyways, we're gonna tell you the journeys. How did we get here? The projects, little projects in LA.
Tiny ones.
Very tiny
And
projects.
we're going to give birth to you right now, a brand new podcast for you to digest.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With YouTube's, I hope, favorite scam busting duo.
Get ready, buckle up.
Roll the logo.
Let's do it.
All right, I think we're rolling. Finally hitting record. Let's mark it. The second clap fix it. We were wondering how to begin. Maybe it's you fucking up, and literally the first 10 seconds is probably the most appropriate way to start this podcast.
Yeah. Why it's already red?
Because it's too. What is red? Well,
Yup.
because when you double clap, you the sync. So now I have to pick a clap.
Pick a clap in finance.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen,
Das ist fantastisch.
welcome to Trilogy Media Podcast. My name is Ashton.
I'm just the other guy.
The other fucking
you're
guy.
the other guy.
That's technically
my name
me.
is Art.
Yes, and we can explain why I'm the other guy. You know what's going to be really good about this podcast? I know some people watching don't know or give a fuck who we are, which is most of the world. But for those that do, there's a lot of inside things. We could take a moment and explain how they got started.
Side jokes.
All the side dick jokes about you and how they all started. We can talk about the origins of these things. I'm very excited to do that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the orgies. Did you say orgies or origins?
Origins.
Origins of those things.
You could talk about orgies if you want. It's our podcast. Do whatever the we want.
Oh, we're not going to get them off. I mean, we're still on YouTube. So anyways, behave yourself. We have 90 days to behave ourselves.
Wow.
Okay. Anyways.
We're here. Welcome everybody to the first inaugural premiere birthday episode of Trilogy Media Podcast. I am beside myself. Actually, I'm beside yo ass. And beside myself, this is even happening, that we're sitting in here, which I think we'll just start with a little piece of fun fact. I didn't even know we were going to give this away.
All right.
But I don't think anybody knows this.
About what? About you? About me?
The room we're sitting in now.
Oh, yeah.
We've never actually said that.
No, we didn't.
Anyway,
but now we will.
Now we will. A little piece of nugget, a little nutter butter for you, just for getting started.
Yeah.
The room we're sitting in now is our very first stream room from our very first office.
It's been closet for a few years.
But we bounced around and you had different units and different it's a little complicated to explain, but units we moved and then we came back and then we had both and then we were here. Anyway, doesn't matter. The room we're in now has been converted into this from what was originally our stream room back when we moved in to an office in 2020.
2020. Literally 3 months, right? January 2020, 3 months before pandemic, we signed 2-year lease or 3-year lease, something like that.
It was 2-year.
2-year.
A couple weeks before COVID started.
Right.
Sitting in this very room, maybe 7 feet to my right, saying, "What the f are we gonna do now?"
And then we became.
Yeah. I don't even know where the hell we're gonna start, but I know that we're here. I know that we pulled the trigger, and we have the best team of people on our team that anyone could ever ask for. I'm very excited, and thank you. If you're here watching this, thank you. This is going to be a new playground for us, one that is unrestricted, as you know, usually most of what we do is anyway, even though we have to keep an eye on where we're broadcasting and the platforms we're uploading to and what we're saying, with the exception of Trilogy Plus, which is where this will live in its complete, uncensored, unrestricted form. So if you're listening to it somewhere else, then, you know, there's a little something you didn't get there, and then you just go over there and you get a little something over there. So that made sense in my head.
Usually it's a war zone in your head. So
it is a war zone in my head.
The only good thing he said that you must and you should be on Trilogy Plus, because that's the only place that we can be us. And that was the whole point that we're going to talk about. How did we get started and why did we end up on YouTube? Even we came as a filmmakers, content creators.
Speaking of we have Eli here in the room, as well as Ryan, going to help us out with some ideas and some. We were talking before this thing started. Like, okay, what the are we going to talk? We talk already so much, especially you. Well, may I have my fair share. We talk so much. What the hell are we going to talk about? I think it made the most sense to us, given the lap that this has taken back in this room, to kind of almost like an 8-year recap.
Right.
And you know what else I realized? I was talking to Amy the other night, is next year will be Trilogy's 10-year anniversary.
Right. Yeah.
Which is fucking insanity.
August, on your birthday, August 23rd,
on
2016.
My birthday. But that's like, well, I'll be 36. No one cares about 36. So I won't be celebrating my birthday. I'll be celebrating. I mean, you could still give me a birthday present.
So now you understand why I don't celebrate birthdays anymore. That's that's how it feels.
I gave you a birthday present. I bought me/us a scooter that only I can use. Has it come yet?
I saw Hamlet.
I saw Hamlet. Hamlet?
Yeah.
You saw Hamlet?
Yeah.
How was it? Was it good?
Hamlet was amazing.
It should be here soon.
You know what?
I did legit get a scooter.
Can one of you please bring that Hamlet? Maybe that will be a great on thumbnail. Can we put that Hamlet on Ashton right now?
I don't know about a thumbnail, but I'll wear it for a promotional image. Well, you know what I want help with?
Great.
You know what I want help with is decorating it.
Decorate what?
Yeah, I want to put I want to put flames on it. So for those wondering,
on a scooter that you bought for
me,
yeah,
for you. I mean, I have a way. I justify it as being for you,
for me,
even though you're not allowed to touch it.
And I paid 50% for that.
You did. I put it on the Trilogy card.
Of course. Yeah.
For those wondering, we did a video. Gosh, what was that? 2 Christmases ago?
Yeah.
Busting a scammer with a Santa. I think. Am I remembering this right? Maybe I have to pull it up. It was a video where you were Santa with your hairy
Vajeska.
Was that not 24? It was 23, right?
23. Yeah.
But was that the same video? You did the hairy beard Vajeska, but then we also went to the house.
Yeah.
Because he didn't show up at the hotel.
Right.
It came. It's actually here. I got to decorate it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Decorated, Ashton. Decorated.
Yeah, look at all that. Look at all this real estate. Got flames. Got to put a traffic cone on it. Doesn't fit my giant mug.
This is it. This is how it should be on every single podcast. Don't drop me.
This is what some haters need to do, is they need to put a fucking helmet on because they can't handle reality. It is choking me a little bit. I'm going to take it off.
Djokovic.
I need to
You already Djokovic?
I need to restructure some shit.
Okay.
Anyway, we did a video about a chasing a scammer, and I rode a scooter. It wasn't really planned, but there was one nearby, and I'm like, the guy's running. I need to keep up with this fucker. So now it's become like an iconic kind of visual as me chasing scammers on a scooter. So I just bought a fucking scooter. Because every Sting House since then, I would look around on my Bird app and be like, where's the nearest scooter? And there wasn't one. And so I'm like, I'm just going to bring my own now. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
This is always ready.
Couch.
Or you can say Hamlet.
Car that you can drive, and scooter that you can ride. So all these accessibilities when the real bus is happening, Ashton either slipping or he's driving, or he's in looks for scooter.
Well, why would I intentionally walk? Like, who runs for fun other than Jack Lisi, bro?
I run for fun all
You're
my
not
life.
fun. No one runs for fun. I feel like that's a fallacy. That
fallacy.
and bananas. I feel like anyone that likes a banana is a fucking liar.
Who walk for fun?
Who
It's just
walks in-
who walks
To
for
be
fun?
fair, I have to be fair. My wife loves going for walks. I'm just like,
oh,
why would I walk when I could roll? You know, that's kind of one of my mantras. I mean, you know, I said it before. I said it in a
You wanna
video.
hear
I only run away from danger or towards pizza. There's no
Right,
other reason
right.
to run, in my opinion.
I just learned a fun fact about Japan recently. Yeah.
Can't wait to hear this.
So there are a lot of studies why Japanese people are so fit, skinny, in shape, right? And a lot of comes from food and diet and stuff like that.
Mm.
Japanese people use public transportation every single day,
Mm.
and they only use their cars on weekends. So when you go do your American drive-through, when you literally drive and they're gonna, you go to the Starbucks, they're gonna you, they're gonna put cappuccino, frappuccino in your ass, and they do whatever it takes so you would steal.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to about all of you.
You know, it's
Who does
fascinating.
drive-through
Do
shit.
you know how much Japanese I have in my heritage? 0. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I did my ancestry a while back, but
Right.
I don't have any
Right.
any,
You don't
any
have
Japanese.
any.
I have
Yeah,
African in me. Not in me.
Don't want to fucking even know. Don't want to give you
But I don't
compliments.
have any
Don't want to
Asian.
even fucking give you compliments. Where that African part on your body?
It's not part.
Yeah.
It's in me.
Probably your nose.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
You got big nose. You have nothing else.
Is that a stereotype? Did Africans have big noses? I didn't know
No,
this.
I was talking about this. So that's why I said I don't want to give you compliments that you have a big dick. So I'm gonna give you that you have a big nose.
You couldn't even go that far. You couldn't even embrace the stereotype to give me a compliment. You had to
No,
make up your
what?
own
Of course.
stereotype.
Yeah, exactly.
to give me a
You
non-compliment.
have Greek big nose. That's it.
Greek?
That's Greek.
Now it's Greek.
Greek.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. This is already. If we haven't offended someone in the first 10 minutes, is it really a podcast?
All right. Ryan, you want to throw any shit at us?
Ryan put some. So that was
What
the
do you
topic of
need?
conversation.
Yes.
It's like, we're here, we're going to fucking ramble. Like, what else do we do? This is
Ramble,
what we do.
bumble.
Let's talk about how you guys met each other.
Shit.
Worst day of my life.
Friends with each other and brothers.
Were we?
How did it start?
1-800 number after midnight.
How we met each other. Well, this is honestly, I feel like this is a good place to start because we did the robocall, which was which Wang Daddy, which was very much about our origins, but like it kind of jumped. Part of the editing of that show was jumping right into like the scam bait element, the Reformation ex-scammer element into India. We breezed through very quickly
We've been breezing.
the origins of how I met your ass, the worst day ever, and and how this all ended up coming to fruition. This is maybe one of the questions we get a lot. And it's
All
like,
the time. How did you guys meet? How
we
did
can
you
only
guys
answer
meet?
it so many times,
Right.
like midstream or when something else is going on. The short answer is we met through a mutual friend, but obviously there's way more.
I literally remember the day when I met your ass, and you have nothing to do. You have nothing to do or like apply with that meeting.
What does that mean?
You just a random shit.
Please elaborate on that.
You just a random
do you mean I
shit
had
that
nothing
showed
to
up
do?
in my life. So we have a mutual friend. His name is Roger, right? So I got my first ever Law and Order casting as an actor. And it was a lot of dialogue. So I was like, all right, I need somebody who can speak English. So I called Raja. I mean, he's American, but his mom and dad from India.
You didn't have to qualify it.
Right.
Rajas can speak English. You don't have to
Raja can speak English.
The
yes.
assumption isn't that he doesn't, just
Same
because
as
his name
Vlad
is Raja.
Choparovich. Yes. So I called Raja and was like, hey, Raja, I need your help. He was like, yeah, come on over. So I came over and we going back and forth. He's my reader. So we're reading the script and, pronunciation. And he said, oh, shit. I was like, what's up, Raja? And he said, I forgot. You know who will be great, actually, who can help with all this reading and stuff? Can be your reading partner.
Weeding.
Yeah. He was like, I have a friend of mine. He live in Reseda. Like he's
I did live in Racine.
yeah. And he said he's driving from Reseda right now to my house. He can help too. And then your ass showed up, unannounced, uninvited, with a big cock. It's Coca-Cola in your hand. You used to carry Coca-Cola every single time you show up.
Every time, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like there's details being added here that weren't part of this original story.
Yeah, so he showed up with a cock.
I probably had an energy drink. That's probably true.
Okay.
What year was this?
That would have been
13,
20. No, sooner than
12,
that. 2012.
11, maybe 11.
I worked at Block. I lived in Reseda until I moved out of Reseda in 13. So I must have met you in 12 because I moved in the beginning of 10. So 11 or 12 we must have met. I don't remember what year it was. In fact, I wonder if I could if I really wanted to know, I could probably find the day I met your ass. I just have to look back through really, 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 really old emails and texts from Raja to be like, hey, I got this fucking migrant in my house. He doesn't speak English.
Migrant. Legal alien. Let's be clear here.
I didn't.
Very legal alien.
I made no comment about your legal status. I was just saying you were in the house and you don't speak English. How the f did you end up there?
I saw a giraffe.
So according to you, I showed up and I had nothing to do.
Yeah, nothing to do with this guy, but he showed up. And back in the days, Ashton was very innocent. He was like very bubbly and he smiled like, like he showed up with his energy drink. He was a happy person for some reason. He was broke as f, but he was happy. Like,
you know what's funny is that the inverse is actually true. Back then, I would appear to be happy, and I really wasn't.
Yeah.
And now I look pissed off all the time, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. So, touche.
Nice. Yeah. So, anyways, he showed up and he was like, again, very nice, very happy, and we sit down and we start breaking down this Law and Order audition, and he helped me actually, and we did it, we taped it, and then we kind of like, all right, let's hang out together, and we
who suggested that?
Suggested what?
Let's hang out together. Those were famous last words. You know what's funny is I don't remember this.
Oh, you do it. You don't remember what happened last night.
It's like, no, but it's like. One day you just were in my life. Like I don't remember it happening. You know, you ever like, it's like you're sitting in an apartment or you're sitting in your house and you hear your refrigerator buzzing in the background.
Yeah, sure.
And then, but you don't notice it for a long time until you do notice it or until it goes away for a minute and you're like, oh, I can't remember a time that wasn't there. I can't remember a time that wasn't Bob. This is supposed to be a compliment. I know it's not,
yeah.
But it's like an annoyance that you don't notice is annoying you until it doesn't annoy you for a minute. It's kind of like you, except it wasn't. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like it. I meant I don't remember you not being a part of my LA life, even though there was a couple years where you weren't. I don't specifically remember this audition, but I do remember this tall, goofy giraffe of my friends that was auditioning for a lot of stuff, and I was like, wow, he gets all these very dialogue-heavy auditions, and he can't even speak English.
And he said, "Meanwhile, I'm the American. I'm supposed to speak English, and I have negative 69 auditions." Okay, now the truth will start.
No. There is a lot. It's like so when editing the robocall, I had to go through all that shit. Like old, and this was like back when, like, I don't know. I don't even remember the year I got my first fucking iPhone, but like iCloud backups were not.
I have a picture when we did audition and we did not have a tripod and you motherfucker filmed me on banana.
Please give more details to that, because
that
can be twisted in many different ways.
Instead of tripod, right? So we put like 3 boxes, and I still have that picture somewhere, and it was in our Halston apartment, next to our little patio on 3rd floor, and we literally had like boxes, banana, and cell phone.
What was the purpose of the banana if we had 3 boxes?
You need something that will hold the cell phone. So the boxes was for level up.
So it was like a
banana was the navigator.
As it usually is. I mean, what else would it be for?
Yeah. So we did.
I don't remember that
either.
But I'm sure it happened.
You know what's so interesting? It's, gosh, life is.
We did a lot of this kind of shit.
No, I was just trying. I was just trying to say. I just trying to say the pattern of a lot of things.
One of those.
Yeah. So I went to Stella Adler Academy, and I played Belarusian dramatic theater actor, right? So when I came to LA and I started working my 69 jobs, one of the places when I was like, hey, I just want to feel comfortable speaking English on stage in front of the camera. So I joined the 2-year program, and I went over there. And when I walked to Stella Adler, the first thing that I saw it was Stanislavski, and I was like, it's already have like Stanislavski. That's it. This is my place. And then out of 35 students, it was Indian guy, which is Raja, and historically, Soviet Union and India, they always been close to each other, right? Again, it's like, I don't want to go in politics and stuff. We always, as a Soviet Union kid, we had two things from India: Indian tea, that every single kid, every single adult, like the whole family been drinking Indian tea with very big leaves, that you have to soak, and it's like whatever. And second, it's Bollywood. We will have an extension to propaganda. We had like 3 channels that is fully propaganda, right? And we have 2 more channels is telenovelas from Brazil, Incognita Señorita, episode 69. And then fucking Bollywood, dude. Everything is singing and dancing. So that was kind of like already in me, right? That Indian culture, without even knowing what's going to happen to me 30 years later.
So I just went into my emails.
You did?
Yeah. And I
Did you find
searched. No, I didn't find what I was looking for, but I found something better.
Oh my shit.
So I was trying to find out what was the first email from exchange between Raja and I.
Okay.
So I could find the date that maybe the first time you were brought up, because him and I would text, but we'd also email a lot, so we'd have scripts and different things. So I couldn't find the first time he brought you up, because it was probably from a text message. But I found this email from November 2013. The Adventures of Art in America. Do you remember The Adventures of Art in America?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, me and my ex, my ex.
Great, let's go there.
My ex at that time,
I didn't.
she,
Okay.
again, she's a first descent, right, in America. So she knew exactly what I'm going through. Person who came with a lot of ambitions and whatever I want to do in Los Angeles, right? So she said, listen, Hollywood is occupied, okay? You cannot get to this shit. You need to be on Borat. You need to have your own story. You have to have your own adventures. So how about we're going to write some stuff for you, skits, and we're going to go and we're going to film a lot of skits, right? And I was like, okay. So I show these 69 different skits to Petrova.
Yeah.
I showed to Raja.
The point was, it was a written comedic web series style show,
right?
Which was one of the first things of how I was introduced to you.
No fucking way.
Because Raja, because I know I met you first. Like he didn't say. I don't remember the order of how. All I know is this email came in November of 13. So
13,
I had to have met you at some point before that.
Yeah,
whether,
11 or 12. Because
whether
like
it was
I said,
12
you were
or 13,
helping
I don't
me
know.
somehow.
But I remember one thing. I don't remember all the specific auditions and shit that we had. But one thing I remember concretely was one of the very first things we ever like explored doing together before Bugbusters, before any of the projects that we actually did, was something called Adventures of Art in America. And I remember Raja being the one to send it to me. And I found this email. And I just want to read the first paragraph. So this is
my.
So
wow.
Who actually did you write this, or did she write this?
It's exactly relationship like you and me. I will tell the story,
and she will put the words
she
in.
will put the role,
which makes sense because this is written with good English. So
You're such a fucking asshole.
But it's very it has your
it's my personality,
humility.
It's my humility.
So this is like a whole first episode, which we should totally publish this as is, because the formatting is not the way a script should be. It's a very all over the place.
Is it Fitness One or Johnny Deep?
Well, the episode 1 is Art Looks for a Job. That's the name of the episode. But there's a little summary at the beginning, which I've just read now for the first time in probably 12 years. And this is based probably your perspective of who you are in LA, having just moved here. Well, however many fucking years ago that was. Art is late 20s to early 30s. I'm the funniest fucking part there.
Old. I'm 41.
An aspiring actor and model from Belarus who moved to America. As he is pursuing his dream, he learns ever so harshly that life in America is not as sweet as he imagined. From his accent to his mannerism, to his style of dressing, even his way of eating. Art is slowly discovering that fitting in is a challenge he never thought of. This is the adventure of Art, as he is accommodating to his new life in America. Meanwhile, Art is obsessed by life in America, the diversity, the lifestyle, the American brands such as Nike, Air Jordan, and Calvin Klein clothing. Yes! Here's the best part. Art, and it's like all of that was like big picture, and I guess this goes with it for some reason.
Okay, what is it?
Art carries a shoe shine in his bag and his car. Art uses hand sanitizer to clean his car with. Eats ketchup with every meal, no matter what it is, from steak to rice and vegetables. Episode 1. Art gets a job.
Art get a child?
A job!
Oh, a
Why
job.
was that included?
I have no idea.
So it did get picked up.
No!
I haven't seen
But
it.
I can tell you
What's it with ketchup? That's
I don't know about
Oh,
the ketchup,
fuck.
but I can tell you about the shoe shine. So
and I can only picture you with hand sanitizer, wax on, wax off your
I
fucking
was
car
getting ready
hood.
to call it. I was getting ready to pre-COVID spray. So obviously you don't have enough money to do a car wash, so you have to do everything manually.
So your next bet is hand sanitizer?
Yeah, I guess I was sanitizing inside,
Oh,
right?
fuck.
But the shoe shine, it's real fucking shit. So as a man, you have qualification to be a man in Eastern Europe, which there are 3 things that a man must carry all the time: good watch, good wallet, and your shoes you have to see your reflection in your own shoes. It means you're taking care of your shoes.
So you don't have to wear
shoe
pants or anything. It's
shine,
just
It's
okay.
it's when you live in 4
pants are optional, I assume.
Yeah, pants. Nobody forgot. Like Calvin Klein. That's all you need. You understand that?
Artem?
Underwear, shoes.
What's the? How do you say this middle name? Vladismigovich. What is that?
Vladismihovich. Wow, great.
It's like
Definitely not.
26 letters long. I don't know how to say it. Anyway,
29.
continue.
So, anyways, that's a true. Like when you have when you go to New York, right? You have like 4 different seasons, right? You know.
How does that happen?
No, because there is snow, there is rain, but that's why you have to take care of your shoes. So shoe shine is must to be part of a man in Eastern Europe.
Okay.
So your shoes has to be clean as a cat's dog balls. What now?
Oh, okay. This is even better. Okay.
Now it's
So,
becoming around
Okay.
me.
Last thing,
Shit.
and I'll move on from this.
Okay, good.
So I'm now looking at this email. So Raja forwarded this to me. Okay. But when you forward an email, it shows the original email.
Okay.
So the original email is from Art to Raja, and you definitely wrote this. The body of the email.
What the buddy saying?
So just imagine every punctuation mistake you can in conjunction with what I'm about to say. I'm going to read this word for word.
Fantastic.
So this is Art giving his web series to Raja in his words in 2013. Hey, bro, check my web series below and let me know what do you think. I will send you a intro plus couples of episodes and please keep it confident. Looking forward to hear from you back. The good time is coming, bro. Best, Art Kulik.
That was NDA back then.
Oh my God, please keep it confident.
What a naive Belarusian boy.
Oh my God, that was November 16th, 2013.
I'm gonna send you email and I'm gonna ask you for
Keep it confident.
keep it confident unless you want to get chopped. Just fucking keep
Little
it to
did
yourself.
you know what was going to happen
No, I definitely
3
not.
years later.
Oh wow.
So I met this Goomba at some point in there. And so
Oh,
before
fuck.
Buggbusters, before all the little projects
Why did he
that
send
we
it to
did.
you? What do you have to do with the adventures
Well,
of art in
I
America?
must have just entered into this disaster of a
What,
friend
you're
group.
gonna clean my shoes? What are you gonna do?
No, absolutely not.
We're gonna
And
polish
so
my shoes?
that was my first introduction of your creative endeavors.
All right, well,
oh, and there's episode 2. Oh my God, I'm just now. Art goes to the gym. Well, why
Yeah.
is that an episode? That's just a fucking thing that happens every.
there is one with
And then
Johnny
episode 3.
Depp.
Episode 3 is called Sofia Vergara and Art.
What? I forgot about this. Oh my God.
Art learns English with Sofia Vergara. Interior bedroom. Art sleeping.
What?
And then she's got a whole fucking and you. Oh my God!
Oh,
Sofia Vergara's got a whole a whole monologue about who she is, and then at the end it says, "I don't have to only be Latina actress. I can play Meryl Streep, sexy drama. I can have Johnny Depp for my husband." What are you doing?
Who said that? That was me?
Whoever wrote this.
Oh shit! Oh, great. So me, Sofia Vergara in the bedroom?
Meryl S.
Episode
Streep.
3?
Meryl S. Streep. Sexy drama. I can have Johnny Depp for my husband. Oh my God, this is fucking
That's
gold.
episode 3?
You know what we should do? Is we should do like a word for word reenactment of these scripts. Like you have to follow exactly as they were written.
This.
Sounds
like a torture to me right now.
Wants you to do this.
Reading my creativity
Oh my
of 15 years
God.
old.
So good.
I remember one episode was something to
So
do with I cannot pronounce Johnny Depp, and I call him Johnny Deep.
Well, that was that.
That was one of the episodes with Johnny Depp involved. So Sofia Vergara, Johnny Depp, fitness, and art love America. Well, that's fucking me. I love America, and
then
everything
fast
is Depp.
forward however many fucking years, and we're sitting here
11.
doing what we're doing. What are we doing?
I
If you're new-
absolutely nothing.
If you're new to finding us, and you know, Ryan,
Wow.
let me know how you want me to curb this. But I don't know.
Curb me?
How did we get here? Like, why did you? And it's also
All
something
right.
I think is interesting too, is
Let me-
talking about, you know,
Yeah, I was
like
trying to.
how we changed, because you changed me. I think I had a slight influence on you.
No, yeah.
And
Now I double check the door when I leave.
is that the impact I had on you?
Yeah, making
That's
sure
the
that
biggest takeaway.
How did Trilogy Media come about from such like
Well, I checked the door 69 times, and apparently that had an influence on.
Yeah, now I'm checking the doors too.
Good. But you're still a fucking Butterfingers, so how do we fix
That's
that?
very true. No, okay, so this is what I was trying to finish.
Please finish.
Okay, so went to Stella Adler.
Oh, we're there again.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I met Raja, and from 30, 35 people, we clicked immediately, and we started doing scenes together, blah, blah, blah. And correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, I will.
But you were doing something with Raja in Stella Adler as well, right?
Yes, I met him. I met him in, actually, I could tell you because I just brought up that email, which was the first email that I ever had with him.
You did some classes.
Yeah,
you
it
did
was
something.
a workshop. So it was just like a one night, one-off.
One night stand with Raja?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
Workshop where, you know, we just happened to be paired up together. It was like you do a scene in front of a casting director. The person organizing the event pairs random people to do the scene together.
In Stella.
Well, it was held in Stella's.
Held in Stella, but it's not part of the Stella event.
Not even in their theater. It was in like one of their rooms or whatever. It wasn't even, but it was.
Okay.
It just happened to be there. So that event was February 5th, 2012. So I have the original email saying about me being paired up. So I met him then, and then I got your web series a year and a half later. So somewhere in there, I met Joas.
Yeah. I remember my my technical teacher. It was Tim McNeil, right, in the group. And when it was graduation, titillation, so everybody's kind of like leaving, and he was like, Roger, Art, come here. So we came, and he was like, look, I don't want to say anything about anybody. I believe that two of you can make it in Hollywood, but this is what you need to do. So whatever he said to Roger, I don't remember what he told him to make it in Hollywood. For me, he said, Art, when you read your monologues, whatever we play, whatever we do, you find a way, barely speaking English, but taking me away on your journey. I can hear your accent, anything. Just work, be comfortable in front of the camera in English language. He was like, I have no corrections, nothing, just learn English and be you, be comfortable. Because when you do your monologue that you prepared, you did your homework, I hear zero fucking accent. You make me believe in living your life, whatever you're playing. So just keep working on your craft and speaking fucking English. And I never did.
Facts.
Fun facts.
Well, I feel like we're gonna need to get Raj on here at some point to kind of
yes, I agree with you.
mitigate some of these stories.
Navigate
You know,
some my
about how-
bullshit or your bullshit. He will be a mediator.
Well, a what? A
Medio-
mediocre gator?
It's gonna be alligator and mediator in
I
the
think,
middle.
I think honestly, if we need a thumbnail for this fucking episode, we should take the still image of me with my crazy fucking Jew hair and you with your shirtlessness
Maybe the one
in
that
the
I
kitchen. Well, that's from Bugbusters. I meant when you and I were just being us, dancing in his kitchen. When
Well,
you
how about we're gonna talk about our first mutual project together?
Bugbusters?
Yeah.
I wish it was Adventures of Art in America. 'Cause I would love to interview Sofia Vergara and talk about.
both were actors in LA.
Right.
living the dream, trying to
Right.
make big movies.
Let's be
Right.
clear. You moved here to be an actor.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
I will say filmmaker because when I graduate, I have master's degree in TV and radio, but I already start working, helping, prepping auditions in Russia. We will go to Щукинское училище, like we will go to the universities that teach acting. And I work for a commercial agency and I will start helping with casting. So I started in front of the camera and then I don't remember, somebody was not available in Moscow for, whatever. So I got a call from a friend of mine who's director and he was like, hey, can you help me to do a casting for this commercial? So I start getting behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came with my CD disc, dude,
Your what?
I brought 69
Your STDs?
STD discs,
CDs.
CDs
Okay.
with my demo reel.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm gonna come to Hollywood. I'm gonna give Steven Spielberg my STD disc, and he's gonna book me immediately for the lead role in his movie.
Well,
that was my plan.
To be fair, the industry used to work that way. Like there was a day, even bleeding into my days in LA, where showing up to casting offices in person to hand them a physical headshot actually mattered.
Yeah, very true.
That was back in the day, and I feel stupid saying back in the day, referring to my day, but it feels like back
Which
in the day,
is-
even though it wasn't that long ago.
We're like 6 years apart from each other, and it's
COVID
crazy.
changed the entire acting industry
Which
in
is-
so many fucking ways.
Which is kind of good because back in the days, when you, let's say you're Al Pacino, right, and you're doing auditions, they will request you to do a self-tape. Somebody gonna put you on video cassette and gonna send director when you're filming in Italy or you're filming your Godfather and they want to do something else. So when you elite actor in Hollywood, you supposed to do self-tapes.
But
Now,
self-tape was the exception. Self-tape was like either the
Right.
backup option when you couldn't be there, or it was usually, from my experience, it was for like smaller projects where they maybe didn't have the budget for a casting office, or like self-tapes were rare and I hated them. But now it's like the inverse. Now
That's
self-tapes
opposite.
are the norm. I haven't been on an in-person audition since before COVID. It's been over 5 years.
you know what I found actually interesting? With me and my personality, I need people. I want people. And when you go, like my agent always said, don't book the role,
Book the room.
book the room.
Mm-hmm.
And me talking to camera guy, casting director, me like showing up with cupcakes, feeding you in your mouth, telling you fucking stories about my fucking, I don't know, cucumbers.
Dude, I sent Raja. That's why. That's another reason we need to get him on, because I need him
What?
to tell this story. There was a role I really wanted to read for,
Uh-huh.
and I was a big part of my training was with Joe was thinking outside the box, doing the thing that no one else is going to do. And in this case, it didn't work, but it's a funny fucking story. So I sent Raja into a casting. He did this for me. Went into a casting office dressed as a Domino's employee with a pizza that I taped my headshot underneath the lid. And I said, go deliver this to, and I had the casting name. I already knew what I wanted to read for. I had a note on there, and I said, go deliver this pizza.
So you sent pizza?
No, I sent Raja in with a pizza.
With a pizza.
I could have just had it
This
sent
is so
there.
Ashton.
This was
You're gonna send you a
this was
pizza
pre,
machine.
This was pre DoorDash. There was no
Right.
DoorDash or anything. So
So he dressed as a pizza delivery guy.
We literally bought a blue hat, and I had him we glued a Domino's logo. I swear to God, he'll tell you this.
He never told me
He
that.
did this for me, and what a friend, man. Because like I had a lot of successes doing stuff like that. Time in particular, they didn't bring me in, but I did a lot of random shit like that because of how I was taught. Because at the time, that shit mattered. Pre-COVID, booking the room, being in person, that kind of stuff had an impact on you going in to read. I got one of my biggest auditions and subsequent callbacks ever from a blind headshot drop off at a casting office, and I didn't book the role, but it was an experience I'll never forget. I read one-on-one with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and all of this was from me walking in blindly. Agent had nothing to do with it.
Dropping
Saying,
your
"Hey,
headshots.
please call me in for an audition," and I literally got one that day because of it.
Yeah. But yeah,
You can't do that anymore.
No.
It doesn't. Now you got to film and be a monkey in front of a fucking wall and hope that you stand out.
There
in
are
a fucking,
pluses and minuses for everything.
yeah.
When you go and you have full room of executives, and you have to be the best shape that you can deliver those lines. You have like literally 30 seconds to make everybody fall in love with you and your character. And if you whatever, not in a good mood, or you in traffic, or you had like anxiety or whatever, and you did not book the room in that 30 seconds, you fucked. With self-tapes, you can do 69 tapes. And that's why they said, like, when casting director received hundreds of those self-submissions, and when they see that you cannot, like, that you fucked up the line, or something is off, or something, it's like, I literally just give you 3 days. You could have practiced that line for a whole day, and even for self-tape audition, you fuck it up. What are you going to do on set? So again, there are pluses and minuses with people, without people, but I definitely love the ability to kind of like, hey, navigate me.
Navigate me.
Should I go up? Should I go down? It's too loud? Too slow? Like, what do you want? Like, adjust me to get notes, and then you adjust, and then you keep it going.
Mhm.
But anyways, yeah, let's talk about dun 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 Bugbuster. Dun 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 ta ta.
That was precisely it,
That
too.
was Inspector Gadget.
Fucking canny. Yeah. What do you want to talk about other than declothing you? And
I can talk about Cartel giving me a car that we cannot find in LA.
that is a story you need to tell. So yes, Bugbusters.
Who wrote that shit? We talk about it.
I wrote the screenplay.
Right.
The idea was all of us. I mean, we all had this idea of, again, you learn so much. I do everything, literally everything differently now, but it's just part of how you grow. We wanted to make a project, and it also coincided with a friend of ours at, I think it was LA Film School, that needed to make a thesis film, and also coincided with like a submission, like a public submission. NBC. Public submission.
Right.
So anyway, we're like, hey, let's make a project together that involves the three of us, and is like an ensemble cast, something goofy, something we can play against type, but also not. Like, we still wanted to be ourselves, like within the casting range, but also something that, anyway. So we wrote this little, which, by the way, plug for Trilogy Plus, you can go watch it. This was filmed and made literally 11 years ago, and stars me, Art, and Raja. So and some other friends. It was an amazing, stressful, awesome experience. But we needed a Volkswagen bug specifically.
Right.
We needed to be our pest control. What do you call it? Like the Ghostbusters car, but we were pest control guys that were incompetent.
So I was the driver of this car,
and we wanted him, Tall Goomba, to have his face stick out the top
from the rooftop
of the fucking Volkswagen.
Right.
And we're like, think about it. Like, you see him every day, but then, like, when you need to have one for a day, like, what do you do?
I remember approaching people. I will drive on the freeway, approaching people, beeping when I see an exactly car that we need for the shoot. And
you've never had a problem with that. Like,
what?
Just like
approach people on freeway?
Yeah, well, that specifically, but also just, like, and that's one thing I got from you is, like, I would have never done that 10 years ago. I wouldn't have driven, which you shouldn't. I'm not saying anyone should just drive up on the freeway, honk at people to ask them for favors. But you did. And
no, but
so is that how you got the car? Or
no?
Okay.
No.
You went for the more sensible option. Go to the cartel.
Yeah, I went to my Eastern European people, mechanic shops, right?
How does that translate when you say, I'm going to go talk to my Eastern European people? What specifically does that mean?
It means you go to your neighborhood, and in your neighborhood, you can get anything you want. You just need to know people.
I still don't understand, but I'll let it live. So
I went to my mechanic guy, and I was like, hey, we're doing this project, and it's going to be NBC submissions, top 3 winners gonna get like that TV show gonna get picked up, 6 episodes.
Needless to say, I wasn't part of this, because had I been, this wouldn't have happened. But yeah, go ahead.
So I said, look, since you're a mechanic guy, you know everybody, do we have this specific type of car? And he said, we don't, but I know people that might have. So he was like, okay, come with me. So we came to Mexican car rental company.
What, do they only rent Mexican cars, or it's a car rental company run by Mexicans?
Car rental company run by Mexicans.
Okay. I was just wondering what Mexican car rental company meant.
So I went over there, and they put a translator, and I was like, hey guys, and I'm sitting as some
Where did you go? Where did you walk?
I
You said
can't
come with me. What does that mean? Around the corner or like?
You're asking too many questions. So when they presented me with my boy
Presented.
and the translator, the owner of that car rental company been packaging some illegal substances, right? So I'm there, I'm just watching shit is going on. So he said, how can I help you? And it's literally episode of Breaking Bad. Like you the only reason you in that room because you know people and somebody trusted you.
You know what's funny is I've heard this story maybe 4 times in my life, and every time there's new details. I didn't know he was packaging substances. You've never told me
He
that.
was doing some stuff.
Well, you said some. What does that mean? You say doing some stuff and packaging substances are two
Right.
very different sentences.
So I said, I'm inspiring filmmaker.
Inspiring.
Yeah, but expiring. My expiration
expiring.
date.
Now I'm expiring.
I'm going to expire
First
soon.
I was inspiring. Now I'm
But
expiring.
before I'm going to expire, I need a car.
You're aspiring, actually, is the correct word.
So he asked me, what kind of car do you need? And I said, I need these, Volkswagen Bug. He was like, we don't have any of those that can drive. But we have one that been stolen and ended up being in our parking lot. And we just have to get rid of that. So
I didn't know that either.
no,
I didn't know it was
you
stolen.
did.
I didn't know it was stolen.
Because it was remember,
I know there were no
plate
plates.
number, no place number, no tags, nothing.
Yeah,
The car was stolen.
I just thought it was unregistered. I didn't know it was stolen.
So everything. So basically, probably it was a body probably it was a murder in
Why
this
are
car.
things being
I don't know.
added every time?
I don't know. I just know that this car, something happened. Something illegal happened. And this car is supposed to be not on the road for specific reason.
This is
So
all for
he said,
this is all for
"Hey."
a student film, by the way.
For student
A
film.
little unnecessary.
I said, we tried everywhere. We can find the car. And I said, hey, maybe I can give your car rental place shout out, maybe? Like, he was like, listen, I don't need anything.
Shout out to so-and-so Mexican car rental company for lending me this stolen vehicle. You can go follow them on XYZ
Instagram. Yeah, back in
platform.
the
Yeah,
days, it
give them a
was not-
follow on
Yeah.
MySpace. Yeah. Oh my
So
God.
anyways, he said, listen, I love that you're trying to do something, that you're doing right things and making your own. He was like, nobody start from millions of dollars, big budget. So you have to start somewhere and I would love to contribute. So tell me the date and time we can deliver this car on tow track. Because the car was not, you cannot drive that car.
Yeah.
So they drop it off the car. And you remember how many times that car died and we have to push
now looking back, well, yes, I remember the car was barely functional.
undriven.
It would turn on,
It will turn on.
but so there's a scene in there where we're supposed to arrive at a call, right? We're arriving to the house. The bit was that we arrive and Art is so tall in this tiny Bug with 3 of us. He's driving, but he can't fit his head in the car, so he drives with his head out the top, which is it's funny. And but the car itself that we used didn't, it turned on, but it didn't. First of all, it was manual transmission,
It was manual,
right?
yes.
And it
We
didn't.
have to push it from down the hill.
Well, so the way that it was set up was like the road to approach the house was a downslope, but then the driveway was a pretty steep upslope. So in the take, we only got one shot at it because we had to basically roll the car up
We
the
have
hill,
to push the car.
coast it down the hill, and the car was on, so we were trying to get it to drive up the driveway, but you can see in the take, the only take, that it wouldn't even get past the first initial fucking lip of the curb or whatever. So we just parked it there.
And the car just died. The car literally
and
enough is
the
enough.
shot was set up for you to drive up to your
Right.
mark, and we'd get out, but it didn't work, and so we had to just reshoot a couple inserts or whatever. But I didn't know it was stolen. And then how did it get? Didn't you have to drive? How did it get back? Because I remember someone had to drive it and follow it, right? So
No. They said now you have to push the car back on the top, put some little bricks so it will not go down. And they said at nighttime when there is no people, we're gonna pick up the car.
Yeah, but I remember there being a thing with having to drive it, and someone had to follow behind it so the cops wouldn't see no plate or something.
It was something like
I can't
that at the
remember.
end. It was something like
I think you were in tune to me enough by that point to know to not tell me everything, and I'm glad you didn't, because I wouldn't have had any part of that, especially not back then. For
you
a
were
fucking
sitting in this
student
car.
film, and I was in the car. My
and it was-
prints
yeah,
are all over this car,
Great.
and that car is probably still there, being looked for.
great.
So if you see
somewhere
a
in the grave.
yellow, unfunctional Volkswagen Bug with which also you didn't tell them you were going to remove the sunroof, and then we couldn't put it back,
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's
Isn't
true.
that was part of it?
That was part
But
of it.
again,
yeah.
at this point, I'm thinking I'm dealing with Mexican car rentals, not with cartel.
Yeah, well, it was.
What jobs were you guys working when you were struggling actors right
Oh my God, everything. My longest one was Blockbuster. I think anyone that's watched our channel has heard me complain about that at least once. Absolutely fucking miserable. And I was definitely working at Blockbuster while filming Buckbusters.
raising money for, mutual dream?
Yeah, just trying to live, man. And like that's like
Live or survive.
well, yeah.
What about you, Art? Where were you working at?
I was already I was working in a nightclub. It's called Aqua Lounge, the only nightclub in Beverly Hills. So my inspiration during the night, like during the day, I was work for furniture store. I was working for another Mexican company that construction
Do they only construct Mexican houses, or is it a company that's run by Mexicans?
company that's run by Mexicans.
God, I just want to make sure I understood what Mexican construction company meant.
Yeah, they speak Spanish, I speak Russian, and we somehow have to build a house, and none of us can talk to each other. Oh my God, that's
Oh,
been
fuck.
amazing.
Be a fly on the wall.
Yeah. So this is speaking about the times of visualization. At 2 o'clock, 1:45, no more drinks. 2 o'clock, nightclub close. 2:30, 2:45, and finally, like you can fuck off like by 3 o'clock, right? Shift is over. And I remember so many nights, so many months. You on Rodeo Drive, the most expensive street in Los Angeles, right? All these boutiques, all these luxury cars, and you broke as fuck. You can just like security guard who is securing restroom in the nightclub. That was the beginning. They put me.
What were you? You were a bouncer
Yeah, bouncer. Yeah,
of the bathroom?
of the bathroom. Yeah,
Were you
They-
carting people to?
No, it's like when somebody go up, like you have to navigate them for the patio where
you
they
were a
can
tour
smoke.
guide.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Before I actually took over that place,
Hmm.
and then I will decide who will come in and who will not. But that's later. So, anyways, that was everybody is gone, and you close nightclub from the inside, the main door. You lock the main door. You get out from the back door. Everybody's gone. It's peaceful. No people.
Peaceful.
And that's where you start visualizing. It's like when Jim Carrey will put his fucking bucket when he will drive up to rich neighborhood. He will park his car. He will roll the window down, and he will start smelling and visualizing that this smell. I'm part of this rich culture. I can buy a house. I can live in Bel Air or whatever. So that was me. I will go through every store, and I will look at the store. Let's say it's Yves Saint Laurent or Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, and I will like look in men clothes, and I will wear them. I will open the door, and then people welcoming me, just feeling that you have enough money that you don't give a fuck about your shopping. You walked in and you don't care about the prices. You buy everything. And that's one of those things, again, when it's done, nighttime, it's the best time when you can living your dream, So yeah, it was great. This smell. You walked into Beverly Hills, it smells differently. It smells like money. It smells rich. Beverly Hills.
So scam baiting wasn't even brought up.
Oh
back
my
in the
God,
day.
scam
You guys
baiting.
didn't,
No. Nobody knew what scam baiting is. Or
There were
was.
like I was. Were you into YouTube prior to you? Like, did you watch YouTube before we did YouTube?
Yeah, like some
What did you watch?
some bullshit, dude. I will watch a lot of basketball, so I will watch stuff like
'Cause-
ESPN, I will-
Because scam baiting was not on the ether
Hmm.
in the mainstream at all. Certainly not like in the news, but even on
Right.
YouTube. Like, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think the only notable ones back then were like Boga and Jim. Like
I knew zero about scam baiting, like
Yeah.
negative 69. Absolutely nothing.
I had a very surface level understanding of it. My mind certainly was much more in the like prank element. The
fart guy, right? Like Jack Vale.
Jack Vale, Ed Bassmaster, like the character driven impromptu
Yeah.
improv, like harmless prank kind of
The
approach.
prank was huge.
And
Early stages.
certainly came in, and that ties us into kind of what we wanted to do. You and I wanted to make a YouTube channel before we had Trilogy Media. We wanted to make content that would entertain people before we had Trilogy Media. Scam baiting only came up, honestly, when we made the viral video on accident. But again, the viral video, for me and the way that I handled it, was coming from like a perspective of that entertainment factor that I had always watched from like Ed Bassmaster was a huge inspiration for me. Like I remember watching him and just literally sobbing from laughing at his Ugly Face series. Like I built up a real special place in my heart. Oh my God, it's so funny. If you haven't seen it, go Google. I don't even think he's does it anymore. Yeah, like, I mean, he's so good with characters, and like I would shit a fucking picnic table if we could get him on here. Because I watched him religiously from like age whatever, 16, before I even moved to LA, his Ugly Face. But I built up a real strong affinity for pranks, but that weren't harmful, like pranks that literally hurt nobody. All it did was make someone feel very strange in the moment. And he would, I mean, basically the thing is he'll like put a hidden camera on a grocery store shelf, and he'll bring an employee in and ask him about toothpaste or whatever. And then halfway through a sentence, he'll just freeze and make a really ugly face and hold it there for an uncomfortably long period of time.
That pause
and watching them deal with this and try to understand in that moment what the fuck is happening right now is one of the funniest things I had ever seen when I first found it. Then you watch more of his stuff and how fucking talented he was at doing not only characters, but he would dress up for prank calls. Like he would do prank calls, you know, not scam baiting. He'd just do prank calls.
I remember you mentioned
they were harmless. I mean, you know, prank. You say what you want about prank calls, but they were just harmless. He would just be a really weird, goofy character, but he would dress up for them. The callers, like no one's going to see him, but the people watching the video. But I just found that so interesting. And so when I came into that, I had that in my head of that kind of, again, I was dealing with a scammer, so it was a different situation. But like, I don't know. Even before the scam bait video, you and I wanted to do YouTube. We wanted to do some kind of thing where we could be ourselves. And
I remember as of today, we wrote, again, Ashton will write, but we will, until sunrise, we'll come up with the idea and develop that idea, and Ashton will put that idea as a screenplay on a
try to at least.
And we had few scripts, and we like, okay, so we need to write something that it will be low budget, and the only one genre till present day that you don't need a lot of money to make a movie, it's horror movie. So we wrote couple scripts, and we start shopping around, and it's always politics. It's always like this and that. Do you have money? Do you have followers? Can you put my my wife? Can you put my side chick? It's like there is always something. And I remember me and Ashton, we're driving to Malibu to meet this couple. That husband is a very wealthy man, like elder person. And his wife, like he was like 7-ish, maybe close to 80, and wife is like 50, 55, and she's like Russian speaking descent.
Is that up in Malibu, right?
Yeah.
When we drove. Sorry, I was tuning out there for a second, but I know which one you're talking about.
Right as we're driving, I'm receiving a call from the person who set this up, and all of a sudden questions like, "Hey, Art, I just got a call, and they want to know if you're Republican or you're Democrat." I was like, and in 2016, I just got my inauguration titillation. I just became citizen of like American citizen.
That's right. It was 2016 because it's when we lived in North Hollywood.
Exactly.
We only lived there a year.
Exactly.
Because our roommate was a secret gay porn star.
So that's a different story.
Talk about that later.
Yeah. So we showed up.
Bonus episode, maybe.
Wow.
Which, by the way, sorry to interrupt. There is a bonus episode that will coincide if you're watching. I don't know. If you're not watching this visually, if you're only listening, there is a bonus episode. You can watch all of these on Trilogy Plus, uncensored. All of them have video. We're talking to 3 different cameras right now. And there's a bonus episode to coincide with every episode that will be released only on Trilogy Plus. So episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way is public, but 1.69, not 1.5, 1.69, 2.69, and so on is available only on Trilogy Plus. So go subscribe. It's $5 a month or $50 a year for the entire platform. And it's the only place we can be completely ourselves and uncensored, where no one can f with us like YouTube likes to do. Anyway, sorry. On our way to a meeting from North Hollywood.
Yeah, we we from North Hollywood, we're driving to Malibu and all these mansions and stuff, and we're so excited. And again, I received that phone call, and all of a sudden they asking me my political views, and I was like, "What political views? I just literally like 2 months ago became American citizen."
Well, now looking back, it was 2016. I mean, that makes sense.
Right.
You know, we don't do politics or religion on this channel, but we're just acknowledging the times.
So we
of the
showed
world,
up
you know?
and they immediately like asked question, "Hey, are you Republican or Democrat?" And I was like, "Guys, we not into politics. We here literally to show you the script." And the guy, I remember the first thing that he said, "Well, if you want to invest money in movies, that immediately like a
Yeah, he was trying to kill it.
He killed it immediately.
He was trying to kill it. He was not
He
a fan.
did kill it.
The woman, yeah. So like they were interested in maybe investing. What was the project? I forget what the we were
Our
pitching.
horror movie.
The horror
One
movie.
of the horror movie.
But we were also pitching. We were also pitching a comedy web series because remember he told us like we should cast her in it.
Right, that's
and
what
they might
he
give
wanted.
us money to
That's
do it.
exactly. He said, "If you're gonna put my wife
such
as
a
the lead character,
such a shit show."
And that was when we got back home, and I said, "Brother, I don't want to put like."
Tired of sucking dicks.
I want that person will qualify to play this role, not by sucking a dick or sucking a pussy. Whatever you suck, whatever you eat, it's your preferences. But you're not here to be actor or actress. You have to qualify. You have to go through auditions as an actor, not as a.
And then we would have had to rewrite the whole thing.
Dude, no. That the age range was everything was disaster. It's like, and he said, "I will give you money if you put my wife as the lead character of your horror movie or your web series, whatever you're doing."
And that was after he had told her directly in front of us,
Right.
"Don't invest in movies. It's it's money down
He
the
said,
drain."
"If you want to lose your money,"
Which he's not wrong,
He's
but it's
not
just
wrong.
weird to say that in front of the people that came to your.
somebody who
you
drove
just
for 2.5
invited you to your,
hours
their home
to have.
That whole day was weird because I remember they were really nice, but then when it was just bizarre. And then I remember being in their house. Why were we in their house for like an hour after they gave us a tour? But then, like it was so bizarre. The whole thing was just
He
so
was sitting
bizarre.
by TV and gambling on football and horses.
And there was a slot machine in their house. I
Right,
remember
but
that.
there'd
It was
been a
like
lot
it
of
was like a
slots over there.
prop, but it was it was just
You
bizarre.
and me, we went because it's on a cliff. I still have a picture that.
I remember their master bedroom having a beautiful
Dude.
view of the ocean
Oh,
and
you went-
looking.
You went to their bedroom?
I remember
didn't
being in their
know that.
house
Why you being in their
for
bedroom?
doing. I
Ash?
don't remember why I was in their fucking house, but I remember we were also pitching the web series because at the time we were still signed on with Face,
Yeah.
and we were trying to pitch it, and then we would have had to rewrite the whole thing to have her as the
Right.
lead,
Right.
and we're like, this is a disaster.
It was
the whole
absolute-
thing was a disaster.
It was a disaster. We got home and I took that peach straight in the sofa and I was like, "Ash, we need to be us. Let's open a YouTube channel. Let's do something. It's you and me. I don't want any more wives, husbands, all these fucking shit happening. I just want, if we wrote something, it's going to be exactly what we have our vision in our heads. It's going to be straight in the camera."
And Trilogy Media, fun fact, number one, was already in existence. We opened the company because we wanted to be a legit production company. If we're going to take investor meetings, we need to have
success with web series.
Well, yeah,
we won 6 film
we needed
festivals.
a corporation. We wanted to hire.
Right.
The idea was not. I mean, YouTube was a secondary thought. The corporation we wanted to have as to just legitimize ourselves in front of these people. Second fun fact: we just hit the hour mark of our first episode of our podcast.
1 hour.
Yep, and our video just hit 1 out of 10. So yeah, we dropped a video today. The title as of now is "We Confronted a USC Student Who's Secretly a Scammer." We can talk about that too. But
So last week we got
we got dick in our ass from
we got dick in the ass by
yeah.
removing child predator catch, right? Ruben. So we bounce back
So what,
with
also,
the OC
if
student.
you're watching this, we're hopefully bouncing. Hopefully they won't find a reason to take this one down. But anyway, yes, we exposed a child predator named Ruben. You can watch it now only on you can watch it censored on other platforms, but Trilogy Plus is the only place to watch it in its raw form. Which shout out to Surfshark and Incogni. I think now is a great time to talk about them very briefly, because they are. I mean, they're one and the same as far as
Under the same umbrella.
as far as a team goes. But yes, I want to talk about Surfshark because not only were they one of our first sponsors of Trilogy Media, back when we started the channel, they came just when we were first starting to see some success. They
said,
said,
a couple
"Hey."
100,000 subscribers.
Or even
back in the
before
days.
that, I can't remember. I have to look back at what the first video they sponsored was. But if you look back old videos of Trilogy, you'll see Surfshark and Incogni sponsorships. So not only were they one of the first ones to recognize what we were doing, believe in our content, they came to us. They're like, "Hey, we love what you do. We don't want to change anything, but we have a product that goes right in hand with the kind of shit that you guys do. the stuff that you expose. So shout out to them. Even though we've had other contracts and other things come and go, they've always been there behind us, and they're now Trilogy Media's new exclusive sponsor for 2025. So it's full circle. And you should check them out. Surfshark is a VPN. If you don't know what a VPN is, it's a virtual private network that you can browse the internet. All of your devices, when they connect to the internet, your IP address, Surfshark gives you basically a virtual IP number, IP address, and virtual location. So basically, you're browsing the internet without anyone being able to see where you really are.
We've done so many live streams, and I know it's part of the script when scammers like, hey, have you been using your public Wi-Fi? When through public Wi-Fi, they can hack and get access to your location. So why do you need to expose your location?
Which scammers actually do that. They'll make shit up, right? So they say, don't use public Wi-Fi. It's bad.
This is fucking true.
Which it's true that you should take precautions. Using public Wi-Fi inherently isn't bad, but if you're doing it like without a a condom, so to speak, it's dangerous. So you should be protecting yourself. You should be masking your identity. Surfshark is an affordable way for you to do just that. And if you use our link, which is surfshark.com/trilogy, you get 4 extra months of the VPN completely free. So not only are you masking your IP address while you're browsing the web, not only can you use Surfshark VPN on all your devices under one single subscription, they also have a 30-day money-back guarantee that you can take advantage of if for any reason you don't like it, but you will like it. But there's other benefits too, like geo-restricted content. So if you have any international friends that are talking about a show on Netflix that they get to watch and you can't for some reason because you're in the States.
Where I came from, there is no more Netflix. You cannot watch stuff.
There you
so
go.
You have to go literally change your...
They have thousands of servers, so you can change your virtual location to be literally anywhere in the world and access geo-restricted content that where you physically are, might not have access to. And a bunch of other benefits too. You can connect to websites, unblock streaming platforms, change your virtual location, Instagram music. I'm just reading some of these other features that people don't even think about. Public Wi-Fi protection, send and receive files securely, best deals when online shopping. So if you've ever if you go on Expedia and you're searching for a flight and you get one price and then you go back with your same browser and you check that price again later or the next day and the price is different, that stuff is intentional. So you can mask your location. You can revisit these websites fresh without getting this cherry pick pricing based on what they think you're going to pay. Especially accessing your bank info if you go to anywhere that you wouldn't naturally want a protected visit, like to your bank or whatever, if you're on public Wi-Fi of any sort. Anyway, Surfshark's got you covered. One price covers all your devices, and they sponsor Trilogy Media. Our whole mission is about exposing corruption, exposing pitfalls online. You need to protect yourself. The best way to fight against scams is to prevent them from ever happening in the first place.
My first best integration that we ever have done is literally hiding from Indian mafia in India in 2022. And because we don't
people still talk about that integration.
Ashton closing a curtain, right? Or whatever. And he was like, all right, before I'm going to get killed, let me tell you about Surfshark.
Well,
it was so good and so true because we were in hiding.
We were operating, which by the way, go. We have a documentary series. It's 10 episodes. There's no way we can cover all that here, but it's 10 episodes on Trilogy Plus about mostly focusing on our trip to India and how we almost got killed there, trying to expose scam call centers. But at the same time, we were taking things minute by minute, literally. But I'm like, hey, we still have contracts to fulfill. We still have videos to make.
I'm gonna get shot.
I better film. I better film this now. People still talk about that. Like, hey,
it's so
people's comments are funny about that. But anyway, they sponsored us back then, so they're here now. Anyway, we're grateful to have them on board. If you can see me, if you're watching us visually, the link should be down there or on the screen. If you're just listening us to audio, just type it in your browser, surfshark.com/trilogy, 4 extra months for free. And we thank them for sponsoring. You need to be protecting yourself and taking proactive measures for you and your family.
Let's talk about the day, and we can talk about this. I remember how Ashton came to the kitchen so many times when we lived together, and it was like, yo, have you received these fucking robocalls? Have you received these calls? So we can talk about this.
Well, for those wondering, and it's we look back at our...
Who's wondering? Nobody gives a shit about you, Ashton.
No one gives a certainly not about California. No footage. Oh my God. So many stories.
No footage.
I can't wait to dive into so many stories. But anyway, the day.
Let's talk about the day.
The day of the robocall, not the TV show, not the show on Trilogy Plus, although you should watch it if you have any interest. You'll probably enjoy it. But the call
The
that
call.
resulted in Trilogy Media pivoting into a completely different space of scam baiting, YouTube. This call, this fateful day when I received this IRS scam message on my phone, the thing that anyone that has watched us for any long period of time will root us back to. But a lot of people find us now, and thank you and welcome, but you might not even realize how we got into this space, which was completely on accident.
Everything is crazy because again, we like we talked before, coming as a filmmakers and doing stuff and filling up every single possible credit card that we have to film our own projects, short movies, web series, features, whatever we can. And then writing scripts, going to the studios, get your ass kicked. The doors are closed. You're going to the meetings. They wanna know if you're Republican, you're Democrat. They wanna know the size of your dick. Anything except actually be creator, filmmaker. And we got to the point that, again, we're living together with Ashton. We're creating things together. And I remember Ashton a few times, like we will meet in the kitchen in the morning, making coffee. And Ashton was like, yo, brother, have you received these? Have you received like these scam calls? Like these freaking IRS want money and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, nobody called me. He was like, well, shit. I know it. It's just like my phone is full of this shit. And I was like, I don't know if I can answer it. Do blah, 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 something like brush it off. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then what?
It's the OG story. I feel like I've told a million times, but it was such a non thing. It was like I was getting like, it was back when robocalls were driving these scams a lot more than I feel like they are now. I feel like right now it's a lot more about links and texts and emails.
Shifted, right.
But you would get these voicemails saying, you from at the time it was the IRS scam. You owe $4,000 to the IRS for back taxes. You better call us or we're going to arrest you. That kind of shit. And I knew it was a scam, but I don't know. My number got on some kind of list, which shout out to Incogni. We'll talk about them at the end. Our friends of Surfshark also have Incogni, and it's amazing, and they sponsor us too. You should get your shit removed off of public databases because I'm pretty sure that's how this happened. Is my number got on some kind of fucking list because all of a sudden I was getting several a day. Like, it started out with a few a day and then it was 10 a day. And I would wake up and have, 15 of these fucking robocall voicemails. And it was so annoying. And so I don't know. I just kind of formulated this thing in my head. I'm like, we had already entertained the idea of like, we want to make content, but I didn't see this as in any way like an introduction to that content. I just wanted genuinely to make a funny video for my Facebook friends. I mean, that was the idea of me hitting record. I'm pretty sure I was home alone when I did it.
Yeah.
And again, this one starts with like a voicemail you get, and then they give you a callback number. So I remember on the day I was like, okay, I'm going to call one back and record it. I don't know what's going to happen. I wasn't expecting what did happen, but my whole thing was like, and it was also kind of a refreshing thing because having now been in LA for, at that point, 6 years or whatever, constantly trying to fit into a box, you're always going to an audition. You're always trying to fill in the goofy sidekick role or try to fit into whatever you think casting is looking for. I don't know. I always had this kind of goofy temperament that I never really was fully able to do in any of my auditions. And maybe I just hadn't learned how to access that side of myself in that kind of way before. But there was something about this that was super refreshing and into something I knew I would enjoy, which is just being me, but in like just a much more dumbed down version of myself. not to give myself any credit. I don't see myself being that smart, but I think I'm quick on my feet. And the point was, if I can call this scammer and just be really dumb, I'm gonna get sidetracked. I'm gonna talk about nonsense. I'm gonna misunderstand him at every step of the way. If I could get some funny reactions, maybe I'll have a 5-minute video I can post on Facebook, and like it can be a little lick, like a little taste of what we can do. Again, it wasn't meant to be like, oh, we can do scam bait videos now. Right. It was just like, okay, this is an idea of what we can do in other things on YouTube, whether it's little public pranks.
We were talking about the art of confidence. We were already writing skits, remember?
Yeah, we were thinking
about how can we go to YouTube.
And actually this came into how we ended up doing scam baiting, was turning it into a game. I was heavily inspired by a lot of these people like Ed Bassmaster and stuff that were very good at like dressing up for the camera and just making it really entertaining, something so basic. But there was another video too that I loved, which was the inspiration behind Scammer Grammar, when we would read random words for each other. So these two guys would it was, I forget what it was called, but it was like the shopping list prank or whatever. So they would have
that's right.
They would have
I forgot about this.
a pad of paper with like a spiral top. So you'd have to flip a page each time for a new item. So the other person would write it for you. You wouldn't know what's in there, but every page has a different item. But the items
I will write for you. You will write for me.
So and you don't look at it beforehand. So the items were always ridiculous. Like not real things. You'd make it up, like the Betty White workout video, you know, or like the you know whatever, just things that don't make any sense, you know, like a solar powered flashlight, or you think of really funny things that shouldn't be in a store but are, and you have to go to an employee and you have to ask them for these things and see if they give you a direct, oh yeah, you might be able to find that on aisle 7. But the challenge was see how many items you could get through before either they break off the conversation or they tell you to fuck off or you start laughing or whatever it is, you know. So it was those kind of in the moment, public, harmless, but funny social interaction / pranks that was really inspiring to me as far as how I saw myself on YouTube. So I didn't go into this call saying, oh, we can do scam baiting now. I went into this call thinking, this is an opportunity for me to capture a little bit of that.
Right.
And so I'm like, let me just call him and see what happens. So I did. And I played very dumb. I talked about a lot. I couldn't, in the moment when the call was over, I couldn't even tell you what I talked about. Obviously, I've seen it a million times now. I know I talked about a lawnmower. I talked about whatever. My girlfriend.
That's a night when you guys, John and Angela, and you guys went to Magic Castle.
I had plans to go to the Magic Castle with John and Angela.
At that time, I had my own car rental company, and I was dropping off the cars. And I remember you called me like, brother, oh my God. Remember those phone calls that I told you that I keep receiving? So I called them back. I don't know. Well, I think I have something.
That was after the scammer gifted me a career on a silver platter by saying,
because of you.
The
Howard the coward.
Howard the coward. The 9/11 comments he made, the Bin Laden comments, the Obama comments, which I think he was still president, right? 16 August. Yeah, election was in 16, inauguration 17. So Obama was still president. So he even said in the call, like, even your Barack Obama can't catch me, or you know, I'm gonna. Like and then he said, I'm gonna come to California tomorrow and get your ass, or whatever he worded it. But my number is not a California number. It's still from Nevada, where I'm from. And so, and I haven't changed it since I was 12. So I was like, how does he know I'm in California? So it kind of freaked me out. So the first call I made afterwards was to my dad. I mean, like, I just got threatened. Of course, way overreaction in hindsight. But I called my dad because I was a little freaked out about what he said. It was threatening to kill me. Then I called the local police station to tell them that I just got threatened. And basically they told me there's nothing they can do. In hindsight, it's hilarious that I reacted that way. But, you know, in the moment, all you can go on is what you know, you know.
I remember
and then I called you and I was like, holy shit,
what time are you coming home? What time are you coming home?
I might have something cool here.
He was like, I need to show you something. I
wasn't thinking viral video, but I was thinking this is a lot more than I bargained for. The call is like 50 minutes long. I was thinking it'd be 5 minutes. So I need to edit it down. I eventually did. I edited it to about 6 minutes. And
so you went to Magic Castle, and then you got home, and then you like Weasel.
I started editing.
You did not call me Weasel back in the days. Like, Art, meet me in the living room.
You didn't earn that title.
I didn't earn that title yet. Yeah. So I get to the living room. She was like, look. And then you start speeding out little everything. This is a video. This is what happened. This is what I did. This is this. And I reach out to these. And there is a Storyful that's already like you.
Yeah. Back when Storyful was good. They were super helpful, and they were really interested in taking the video. They took the video. They ended up posting it. Obviously, it went crazy viral.
It was, remember, nothing. I think a week or 2 weeks later, it was like, we already forgot about this. And all of a sudden, it was evening, same living room. You like,
no, I woke up.
Oh my God.
I woke up one morning and checked it, and it was there on Storyful's Facebook page.
Okay. But it did not go as big because I remember at evening you like, it's 1 million views. It's been like 12 hours.
No, it hit 1 million like by the end of the day. When I woke up and found it, it was at like 80,000.
Right.
And it had only been up like an hour.
But I remember cheering for first 1 million views on that video
on someone else's platform.
Room. Yeah.
Like we didn't even post it. Right. The only reason we had a YouTube channel was because when a licensor takes the video, they monetize it on your behalf. That's what they're doing. They take a cut and they monetize the video. One of those ways was them posting it. Actually, at that time, Facebook wasn't even monetized for video. So that post made $0.
Right.
The only money that came in, which sucks because it has like 70 something million views right now. just on that one upload. It's still there.
Yeah, that's right.
It's still there. And I mean,
Freaking crazy.
yeah, I should actually hit them up because they should be making ads now. But anyway, they monetize it by putting it on other platforms,
Outlets.
other licensors take it and share it on their websites, but they needed like a root upload. So they're like, hey, if you can
Home
upload
base.
it to YouTube and give us a link, that'll be like the root upload we use to broadcast it out to other licensors. So I'm like, okay, I just use we already had Trilogy as the company, but we didn't have the email. We didn't have the YouTube channel yet. So I just, open YouTube channel, click, here's my email, boom, boom, boom. I'll name it the name of the company. It wasn't meant to be a video platform. It wasn't meant to be a scam baiting channel. It wasn't meant to be even our YouTube channel.
No.
I just named it Trilogy Media because that was the name of our company.
And that's the thing. Like nothing happened. We were continue thinking about the skits, what we're gonna do on YouTube. Remember?
Well, yeah, because when the video blew up,
writing
up,
shit.
it's not like we automatically were like, okay, we're scam baiters now.
No.
Because first off,
Classic, dude. Classic. Like, why do we need to beep right now? Like,
maybe it's the 10 years ago version of you asking for a Volkswagen Beetle from someone. Hello.
I was doing that on freeway when I
Oh
said,
my God. Did she tell you to
she did.
Huh.
One girl.
Yeah.
She thought she actually was thinking I'm hitting on her, and I was like, no, I just need your car.
I just need your car?
I just need your car. Like seriously, and I said that. I was like, can you pull over literally on the freeway?
Oh
Can
my
you
God.
pull over? I need your car.
No one's gonna hear that while we're talking anyway.
It's gone.
What was I saying? It's not like we said, oh, we're scam baiters now.
Right.
Because, and I see this all the time. It's actually kind of fascinating because you always have the viral thing, right? Like the Hawk Tuah girl is a perfect example of how to not manage a viral sensation.
Oh yeah.
But you scroll TikTok, you see viral shit all the time where someone like the Chick-fil-A sauce girl or like it's interesting to see where people go after that.
Very true.
And
Very
some
true.
of them are successful. They were able to turn it. We were very fortunate in the way that we handled it.
Took this opportunity by the neck.
But
We grabbed it, we saw it, and every year that grip, like you
grip. I don't know what you're trying to
Yeah,
say.
grip.
But grip.
Like grip is getting stronger and stronger.
Grip a dick. Yeah. Squeeze.
squeeze.
I don't know.
Squeeze.
I don't know.
No, okay, great.
Squib it.
Nothing.
I don't.
Nothing.
Every year we grip it harder.
No, yeah. It's just like, yeah.
It's just but we also got really lucky because fucking the topic, we were able to not recreate it because you can never, if you're gonna try to recreate it, it's not gonna work.
No.
Like
Even when we tried to do using movie quotes to waste scammer times, remember we did 3, 4, 5 different, and nothing happened.
Well, we've learned
Same
that
setup.
over and over and over again on our channel, and that's one of the only things that's been consistent with our content creation journey on YouTube is that when you try to recreate a past victory, it will never work. But it's interesting because you see people go viral for some random shit, like the Chick-fil-A sauce girl, right? You know who that is?
How
does it go? Chick-fil-A sauce? It's funny.
Right,
It's a goofy
you need to
little,
show it to me. You will show me later.
But it's like
when you have access to the computer.
you never know when that shit's going to go viral,
Yeah.
but then it does. And then what do you do next? You can't recreate it. If you try to recreate it, it's going to look disingenuous. So then you have to try to do something different, but people will always remember you as that thing. We just got so lucky that we were able to. It was a long game. It wasn't immediate.
Yeah, it's definitely not a sprint. It definitely was marathon, and I definitely can say this. One of the beauty that what we're gonna do, whatever the people gonna do in their podcast, their business, I want to slide some tips as well, especially for young generation content creators. The experience that we went through, whatever we've been dealing. I would love to to give that live experience. And we're going to talk a little bit about the, do you need a camera or do you need a setup? How do you start a YouTube channel? So we can sprinkle some good things while we're talking about
some tips.
Yeah,
I imagine a lot of our future episodes, which can you believe we already have the 10-minute warning for a 90 minutes right now? Which blows my mind, which we don't have to stop right at that point. I'm just saying,
wow,
holy shit, this just felt like 15 minutes long. But I think a lot of our discussions going forward, especially when it is just you and I, is talking about the mechanics behind social media and making the videos and how it's changed over time, especially when we have other YouTubers that are guests on.
I just know that we will create 1,000 ideas. And 999 will be useless, toothless. It will be nothing. But that one idea, when we sit down and we're like, you know what? How about we're going to take movie quotes and we're going to read them and we're going to try to get as many quotes as we can, schema grammar, right? Same kind of like stuff, lyrics. Remember back in the days?
What's funny is those ideas were equally big in our minds.
Right.
Right? Like scammer grammar, I remember the first time we did it, and again, we tried to recreate it again and again, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
The first time we did it, it did well, but it wasn't a viral video.
No, it was not.
Movie quotes was a viral video,
Right.
but they were in our minds equal ideas, and they're
Very true.
almost the same idea.
Very true.
Honestly,
Very
one
true.
we're writing topics for each other to work into the conversation.
It's just
The
like
other one
extension.
is
Yeah,
it's just
like-
it's just
yeah.
oranges and
Curveball.
apples and oranges. But one was viral and one wasn't. That's a perfect example. It's like in my mind ahead of time, I thought they were equally as funny. There's
But-
just something about that video that went viral, and I don't know why.
Watching,
I still don't know why.
in Practical Jokers, and we always like, you know what? In Practical Jokers, 4 of them, 4 best friends from freaking kindergarten. We can be like, it's us online, but we wasting scammer times in, we cannot do hacking. We cannot do like all these computer engineering and all this stuff. All we can do is be us, be goofy, be comedy, be that duo, and we apply to these.
Well, and that was the biggest thing from day one when the viral video went viral. Wow, puberty crack. Was we wanted whatever we were going to do to be personality driven.
Very true.
And so many times when things go viral like that, it's kind of gimmick driven. It's like you're laughing at something that happened that you can't control, whatever it is, or something that you can't recreate. And even for me in that viral video, I can't recreate having a scammer make terrorist threats at me. Like the scammer did that. It was just reacting off of what I did. I can be goofy and stupid as many times as I want, but it's not going to have the same impact as the first one did. So like, what are we try to recreate a terrorist scammer every time we want to make a video? It's not feasible. No. So we knew that we were going to go into this, that for the two of us, we wanted to play off each other. The dynamic that you and I have, you and I already knew it, but we
Right.
just didn't know how to package it. We didn't know
We
how to
haven't
broadcast
introduced-
it.
That's very true.
We don't know how
Yeah.
to market it.
Well, already been big. That when always
Oh, we
people
bickered
ask,
from day one. Yeah.
is this bickery?
He's been annoying me since 2013,
Good.
circa
and I will continue.
2013. But we knew it was going to be the two of us, and we knew it was going to be personality driven.
Yeah.
So however we were going to work that in.
I knew only 2 people: Kid Boga and Jim Browning. Nobody else.
Well, and even back then when we started looking into scam baiting,
Right,
it's
absolutely.
like that's
it was such
that's
a
who came up.
tight niche community, and you have like 2 big players, nobody else. And I was like, all right, we don't know how to hack, we don't know how to do get access to CCTV cameras. We're like, you clown, I'm clown.
But
let's-
again, the hacking, it didn't fit our formula.
No.
And you know what? I bet you
Formula, personality,
I bet
nothing.
if we had gone with something like that, we could have gone viral a lot faster and probably made a much bigger channel. But that's not what we wanted.
No.
Like there's a cap to that. And
we
that's
don't want
why
to be behind the camera.
that's
We
why
don't
we
want to
didn't-
hide. We want to be in front of the camera and be literally
whatever
us.
we do, it's going to entertain so that our content doesn't cap. It doesn't have a ceiling of scam baiting.
right.
Most, not all, most YouTube channels have the word scam baiting or scam of some kind. Maybe not most, but a good chunk of them have that as what the content is. And so the content kind of stops there unless you make another channel doing a different thing.
Mhm.
We never wanted that. And that probably did hurt us, honestly, in the short term, because marketing something called Trilogy Media
Yeah.
is
But
impossible.
nothing
Like what the
to
is
do
a
with,
Trilogy Media?
Scam baiting.
You
That's
say,
very
hey,
true.
I hack scammers YouTube channel is way easier
iHack.com.
to make
Find
it
me.
go viral.
Yeah.
And niche is very important. Don't get me wrong, but it took us a lot longer because of that. But
But
that's
at
what
the
we
end,
wanted. We didn't want it, the end all be all to be a massive YouTube channel.
Right.
We wanted it to be as entertainers, content creators, filmmakers. And so we were able to then, as time went on, and we were able to increase our budgets and get a little bit more.
Develop,
Even in the early days,
expand.
you can see hints of it, because in the early days, I edited everything. And thank God I knew how to do that,
Yeah.
because
we'll be so. We'll be so.
we wouldn't have had the money for any
No.
editors.
No.
But even in the early days, when you can first see, like, like now that I'm thinking about it, the movie quotes video,
Mhm.
if you watch the first 10 seconds of that video, it's this really like cinematic logo reveal that says lights, scamera, action.
Yeah.
So I was framing it like a massive TV show, even though it was just like a YouTube video, you know,
100%.
because that's the vibe we have. That's what we were going
That's who
for.
we are.
And that's
we
who
filmmakers,
I
we
was.
content
Yes.
creators. We were not like scam baiters as a scam baiters in hacking and stuff. Whatever we've been creating, it's always been cinematography. It's always been documentary, docu style, doing these guerrilla shots and videos that we started doing in 2020, going on the field. So it's always been.
That might be a good place to start next week when we do is as kind of that pivot, because 2020 was like almost like a complete rebirth.
Oh yeah.
You know, we started in 2016, 2017 and onward was all very much about
Getting
the short form videos,
getting Marquissimo. Remember the
Marquissimo, that
Marquissimo
was
story saga came after this.
that tied right in well with the kind of filmmaking aspect
Right.
we wanted. But it's like, I mean, all we could do was just fuck up over and over and over again until we found what it was that we wanted to do, which I still don't know if we've found it, but we find it in new ways each time. And
well, for those who always been asking, and we see these comments all the time, what should I have? What should I buy to start my YouTube channel? How can I get prepared?
it doesn't matter. That original viral video was filmed on a MacBook like this, but way shittier. It was the only it was actually the MacBook I had from Reno. I got that. My dad got that for me for like my 17th birthday.
Mhm.
It was old ass. Even at the time, because that was 2016, I still had that MacBook from Reno. So that MacBook was almost 10 years old.
Mhm.
The webcam on that laptop, which was like, 360p resolution, is what filmed that. I had some kind of app on the thing to film it, like photo booth or something to record it. Like it was filmed basically on a potato
But I was
with no microphone.
right.
You
But I
know?
was trying to say, like, when after that video, when for next 3, 4, 5 years, 2016, until 2020, like let's say 4.5 years, we literally had a bucket, like a blue bucket, tripod, and cell phone that we cannot buy for cash. We did installments. So we have cell phone, tripod, and fucking bucket.
The point is the equipment was absolutely pointless when it not pointless.
Our department,
but,
we did everything ourselves. From this and put camera and put.
Don't wait on that to start.
No,
it's because
don't. Just do it.
There's no point. Even honestly, the first time we ever put real cinematic effort into something for the YouTube channel, I think
that was
when we filmed with John for Marquissimo.
For Marquissimo, yeah.
Because
That was
we
the biggest
thought
video
that
at that
was
time.
going to be a big reason why that video went viral.
Yeah.
And it didn't go viral.
No, because it was a different vibe. It was like deep docu. Nobody talked to or saw scammers.
Well, I had never
before.
seen that before.
No,
I mean,
nobody. Even John being in this business, and he used to have a
I don't want to
YouTube
say that
channel.
we pioneered it, but at least from my perspective, I was not
haven't
privy
seen
to
anything.
any other channels on YouTube that hunted scammers or anything like that
Yeah.
had actually gotten an active like tech support phone scammer on a video chat to talk about the industry.
Or helping scammers to escape
Like
this
this was
industry.
new territory,
It was definitely
one
new.
that we would eventually end up getting a lot of hate for. We'll talk about that in a later episode. But we thought, look, this is a massive new thing, not just for us, but for this kind of niche at all.
Right.
We need to we can't film this on an iPhone. In
John-
retrospect, we could have.
John showed up. Till present day, he did not charge us a single $1.
No.
And he set up the lights. He
Mhm.
put everything. He making sure, because we didn't know that Marquissimo will show up, because he's supposed to do a face reveal. We didn't know if you're gonna trust us or not. But John said, "Listen, if he's gonna show up, it's gonna be fucking mega viral shit that's never been done before."
We thought it would, and it
Yeah.
wasn't.
But again, one of those things.
And it actually was like a lead into, like, we had hit 10K or something.
Yeah.
That led us into a dry spell. How long did it take us to get from 10K to 20K? Like a year and a half or
Oh
some
my
shit.
God, it was
It was torture because we were making no money.
No,
And
it was bad.
the filming took long, the editing took longer.
Yeah.
And
Then we start doing 45-second updates. We start releasing 5 videos per week.
we thought
remember?
that was the trick, and
Right.
that wasn't it either. So I mean,
Again, trying.
I mean, you have to try. I wouldn't.
The art of confidence. Then we start
We
doing
thought that would go
yoga
viral,
teacher,
and it didn't. Like, we did so many things that we thought.
opening beers and
Actually, when you look back at all the videos that really changed the trajectory of our channel, none of them were the ones we thought it would be.
no, No. Especially the one when I grabbed that bitch. Talking about the balloons inauguration.
Oh my God, we were hungover when we filmed that. Because we were up all night waiting for the fucking guy.
We can afford Connor at that time only for one day, and he was not available second day. So we kind of like, look, we book a room, we got Marriott, and
We got what?
Marriott.
Oh,
We book a room in Marriott
I
Hotel.
heard something else. I heard we
got
booked
married?
a room and we got married.
Oh, great.
Great.
Yeah, but
Let's keep those rumors going.
In your dreams.
Whose dreams?
Okay.
Maybe fan fiction writers.
So we got hotel, we got DP, only that available for one day. And we waited until 10,
he
11.
He didn't show up.
He did not show up. And we already have balloons. We already have inauguration program for him. We have everything.
Did we?
Yes. Yes. That's why the hangover morning,
Yeah.
we had everything.
I thought that all that was. Oh yeah.
No.
That's because I was taking a shit, and Chappie messaged us. She said, or no, we woke up
We woke up.
and Chappie had already texted us.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah. And we just
Downstairs.
woke up and we said,
And
hey,
he had our-
Chappie,
he-
Ashton have to take a shit.
And he has our room number.
Yeah. Tell Cashmill to wait a little bit. Ashton need to do his
He
business
had our
first.
room number because we were
Yes.
all night, and then yeah.
And then
anyway.
he didn't want to come, and we went downstairs again. I was not expecting that video is going to be viral and get like millions of views. No DP, nothing. Two hangover boys.
You thought the Jody
And-
video was gonna suck a dick,
Oh yeah,
and it was.
I hated everything about that video. Thumbnail,
After
title.
I just spent fucking days editing this 2.5 hour video to make it as good as I could.
No,
I know, I'm teasing. I'm just saying, like,
amazing.
He's like, oh, this video's no, it's not. It's
Yeah, I
whatever.
was
You
not-
weren't that
yeah.
into it, and you didn't like the thumbnail, and it ended up
I was
being
not
one of our
into
most viewed.
thumbnail.
I know. I'm teasing, but I'm just
But
saying.
the video,
like,
but the craziness, I verbally beat the shit out of her so many times.
I know.
In New York, when we were like everything, when she said, "Love, call him," and I said, and I'm so mad, and it was like 8 in the morning, and it was like 9 in the morning, try to talk to a person who is a dumb as and I said, just shut the up. There is no calling. There is a big black dick that you sucking, and you're gonna be sucked that African dick for a long time. So shut the up. There is no calling.
but I think I saw him on The Price is Right. Controversial question. What do you think about having her on this podcast?
We should. We
I
just
think-
need to get tomahawk steak be available for
I know
her.
some people are going to be like, why the would you give a racist more airtime? But here's the deal.
There are a lot of deals. She still talks to him.
I know.
She still sends money to
I
him.
know.
And she said to herself,
But that's why I don't mind, is because it's not like we're hiding how much of
No.
a piece of shit she is. And I'll tell her to her face.
Oh, I just about to
we
say
have
that.
told her to her
Yeah, I
face,
would
but
love
we'll
to.
tell her again.
I would love to tell her that one more time. Remember the fucking steak?
We even said with Cat, and shout out to Catfish for being so
Fuck.
cool. I know we're all over the place right now, but shout out to Catfish for being so cool with it. But we said, like, look, we're not going to edit this video to make her look better.
Mm-mm.
This is shit she introduced into this
No.
mid investigation,
No.
and by putting her
Knowing
on
how
air,
amazing our squad is, and that, make her, she lost money, squad can go and help and go fund
God.
or whatever. We're like,
I
absolutely
can't
not.
glorify someone and,
No.
and encourage people
She's
to
gonna
financially
take your
support
money,
her. Oh yeah,
my
fuck,
money,
fuck no.
your money, his money, and she's gonna send it directly to him
Yeah.
after all evidence. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you guys did a shitty job of investigation. Anyways,
We'll talk more about
We'll
it
talk more
for
about
sure.
All right,
I know we've already hit the 90-minute mark. I would like to. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no.
no. Because any questions, anything that you saw that squad want to hear?
Well, I was going to explain a couple pieces of
All right.
housekeeping about how this is going to function. If you've made it this far into the episode, clearly you have some interest in what we're going to ramble on about in all these episodes. Let me just say this. Right now, we have planned. Right now, this is dropping on Wednesday publicly on YouTube and other platforms. There's going to be a bonus episode, by the way. With every episode we drop, there is going to be a separate bonus episode. So it'll coincide with the numbering. So like episode 1, 2, and 3 will be episode 1.69, 2.69, 3.69. That bonus episode is exclusive to Trilogy Plus. It's our very own streaming platform where we put everything we make, first of all, with a ton of extra original content that never sees the light of any other day other than Trilogy Plus. We have apps, we have the website, you can stream it on almost any device.
on the Roku, on Samsung,
Yeah.
all of these amazing things. I think Ashton and me, like sometimes we're trying to stay it's like getting ready before tsunami or earthquake, right? Like for instance, we have 69 bottle of gigantic bottle of waters in Trilogy Media by accident. But if there is earthquake, God forbid, you can come to our office and maybe hundreds of people can stay hydrated for
I got
like
that
for
shit
a
on
year.
auto ship, and I keep pausing it, and they keep sending water.
We have so much water. We're gonna do podcast on water because water is taking over podcast room, everything.
Because I wanted everyone to be hydrated, and so I got auto ship for sparklets.
Auto ship your ass.
And now they
for my
auto
life.
shit the fucking bed with water every
What I
single
was
week.
trying to say, this stuff, Google, YouTube, Facebook, everything that's happening, Instagram, the everything getting tighter and tighter. It's like freedom of speech disappearing. It's like people will let you know what they want to hear and what you want to say.
When it comes to big tech, absolutely.
So that's why we kind of like, look, if we're gonna get screwed and got by YouTube one day, let's say, everybody gonna like it's done. Everybody gonna go sleep under the bridge, and we cannot afford that. So me and Ashton,
As long as your shoes are shined, though.
absolutely, we took a fucking loan and we opened our own platform, which is Trilogy Plus, trying to stay ahead of game for stuff that happened 3-5 days to us, that our video just got vanished, and now we have warning that we have to behave ourselves. So go to Trilogy Plus. You
We've
can
had it
find
3 years, by the way.
What?
Trilogy Plus.
3 years?
Just about. Wow. Yeah, check the bank statements. You'll see
I
the
just
bill.
about to say that we're still
But-
paying that bill.
Oh, yeah.
That loan.
That bill will be paid for a long time. I'm just saying the platform has now lived for 3 years. Anyway,
Wow.
yes, we're plugging Trilogy Plus. Highly, if you love anything that we do, not only is everything that we do on YouTube available there in an uncensored, extended format, but we have so much more original content of stuff that we just don't even post on YouTube because it's not scam baiting or it's not this or it's not that. But brass tacks, that's a very old phrase. I'm just aging myself now.
Brass what?
Not breast, brass tacks. You know, that's a thing. I'm saying it right? Brass tacks. It means like get to the point. There's a bonus episode available in conjunction with every public episode that you'll only find on Trilogy Plus. We are planning to release these episodes every other Wednesday. So publicly here, whether you're watching it on YouTube, visually, or audibly, whatever, on all podcast platforms. But there will be a bonus episode to go with every single one. We have lots of guests planned. We have so much planned for this. Some episodes will be shorter. Some will be a lot longer. It's just going to depend on what the hell we're talking about. But if you've made it this far, thank you so much. This was a massive hump. Maybe that's a bad word. Massive milestone's a better word.
Yeah. Or you can
hump it.
Oh, you can tell us all about the catch-up of 8 years.
That was you, Adventures of Art in America. Who wants to see, show of hands, beep it in the comments. Who wants to read Adventures of Art in America episodes 1 through 3 in their raw 2012 state? I do. Maybe we'll have a read along.
What are you like waving over there?
Let's cast it and do a live play. Ryan can play you. And
are you going to be Sofia Vergara? You're going to be Sofia Vergara.
No.
We can put your titties on.
No, we can have Eli play Sofia Vergara. I'll narrate.
Who's Johnny Deep?
Oh my God. Hood.
He's always deep with each.
Actually, no, it could be Mike. You know how he poses so well for photos. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot more to come here, and this is just the very beginning. And we started recording a few days ago in this room by saying thank you. I'll reiterate that now, of how grateful we are to have come in such a full circle, but also it's just like the beginning of a mountain of so much more things. This is going to be our biggest year by far. I'm excited and I'm grateful, and we would not be here without you. So thank you.
This is the only one statement that I always agree with Ashton.
Oh, wow.
We're humble. We know the reason why we're here because of every single one of you. You supported us back in the days on Patreon, YouTube memberships, exclusive sponsor, whatever you guys doing, and specifically Trilogy Plus, that's the only reason we're still kicking. So every single one of you, we love you. Thank you so much. We won't disappoint you. We're going to bring you a lot of, I need to bring Gary Pussy on the podcast.
You haven't buzzed at anybody in a while.
Dude, I watch his Instagram videos sometimes. It's getting recommended. I don't
Gary
even
Busey?
follow these guys. Yeah. And this guy just...
He's crazy.
I think of you every
I
time
work with
I
him.
see it.
Dude,
I
did
worked
you
with
see him in
and his son.
Have you seen him in Impractical Jokers?
No.
Have you seen that?
No.
There's an episode where
You see?
Yeah.
Gary Busey?
Yeah. It's great. It's perfect for him because the premise is they have to be. Sorry, real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. The jokers are working a cash register with a customer, and then some random person, in this case Gary Busey came in. Some random person comes in and throws a cup of water in their face and says something random, and then walks out. And then the joker has to explain to the other patron why that happened and try to get them on their side and be like, "Did I deserve that? Yes or no?" And if they agree with you, then you win.
Funny.
But they had Gary Busey as like a guest come in and be the water guy. So he'd come in and he'd say some wacky shit to them about why he was doing the water. Google it. It's search on YouTube. It's hilarious. I had another point I was going to say. I also want to say thank you to Incogni, from our friends at Surfshark. So they are our exclusive sponsor for 2025.
Yes.
They're two separate products, but you're going to hear them both, but it's the same family. Again, Incogni and Surfshark have sponsored Trilogy Media since back in the day. I don't like that phrase right now, but back in the fucking day. They're back now, and it's kind of funny how it all works, because if I had Incogni back before,
you would never,
I probably wouldn't have made the viral video.
Yeah, that's very true.
But the point is,
they would not get you information. They would not get your cell phone number. They would not get your home address.
Everybody
or stuff
talks
like that.
about like data leaks and like criminal hacking and stuff being stolen, but a lot of people don't think about the fact that your data is being harvested already. Like not even with hacking, it's just being you gave it somewhere online, and already 50 data brokers already have it, and that's why you're getting a bunch of random marketing emails that are unrelated to anything that you originally submitted.
And we're not talking about dark web. Dark web is something
this is just
different.
web.
It's
just data. So data brokers have to follow certain laws, of which include privacy laws that say, hey, especially I can only speak for here in the United States, but if you request your data to be removed from these data brokers, they have to do that. They have to remove it at your request. Even us as Trilogy Media, if we have a customer that ordered something or has a Trilogy Plus, if you email us and you demand that we remove your information from our databases, we have to. That's the law. But people don't realize that there are literally thousands of data brokers just in the country.
Imagine
for you to go one by one would be absolutely unreasonable.
It's going to take like 69 years.
So Incogni is a service that does it for you. It's automated. They reach out to all these data brokers. They request your data removal. They basically act as your power of attorney, and they go and get your data removed off of these public search sites, off of these marketing, whatever, all these freaking companies that email you random shit.
And they're going to keep you updated every single time what happened.
Yeah, I get like a weekly or a monthly update email from them. Even still, I've been using them for years, and my information gets on new things, and Incogni just gets it right off. But they give you progress reports saying, hey, this is all the requests that have been sent. These are all the ones that have been finalized, meaning your data's gone. And these are all the ones that are still pending. And these are all the objections that we got, and we're handling all those for you as well. They do everything for you. It's all automated. You don't have to do anything. And you're going to see a reduction in spam calls, see a reduction in spam emails. And just like for me, also me being online, I don't want people being able to know where the fuck I live just by going to a people search site and searching it. So if you want to protect your privacy, take back your personal data, make sure you use our link, because you get 60% off an entire year. So incogni.com/trilogy. And thanks to them and for Surfshark for sponsoring Trilogy Media. No shade to other creators online that have a different sponsor every single time they do a video, but we prefer to keep things in the family as far as content topics.
Right.
We're very much about exposing online pitfalls, things that could be harmful to you, exposing scams, all that good stuff. Why the fuck would we show up and have a fucking pube shaver as a spy? It feels a little disingenuous, in my opinion. We like to do things that make sense, and this makes sense. And we only market products that we use ourselves and that we trust, and preferably ones that we have a long relationship with, which is Surfshark and Incogni. So check them out. Surfshark.com/trilogy, Incogni.com/trilogy. 60% off Incogni for an entire year. Thank you so much for watching. Is there anything else that just has to go in the first episode of the podcast, because we're never going to get this back again, that you can think of?
Great. Nothing.
We covered Cartel. We covered Adventures of Art in America. We covered Sofia Vergara. Covered a lot of stuff. This has been an absolute pleasure. And
it was not. I was not expecting you're going to read my shit.
I wasn't. I swear.
The Adventures of Art in America.
The Adventures?
The Adventures.
I swear that wasn't planned. I only found that because I was going to see how far back my emails with Raja go. Now we need to get Raja in, and we need to do a read through. Maybe that'll be a bonus episode. That whenever week we have Raja here,
right? The
bonus episode is going to be a full read through of Adventures of Art in America. It's settled. I don't need your opinion. It's happening. Wow. Ryan, make sure we do that.
Oh, it's done.
Wow.
Big slack.
Amazing. Thank you for joining us for the premiere podcast episode of Trilogy Media Podcast.
Yeah, this is great. This is so unreal/real. Like when you're working so hard towards so many dreams, and then you're crossing those dreams in this, storage room being unoccupied for so many months. Now we're sitting in this room and I don't want to even leave. I don't want to even go home. This is my favorite room right now.
You
We're
can sleep.
Oh, wow,
You
I
sleep
can
a bitch.
sleep a bitch.
We said thank you to our sponsors. We said thank you to Squad, and we will never stop doing that. So thank you to Squad. It was who, if you're new here, it's who we call the people that support us and are always here watching our stuff. The last little piece of advice I'll give for anyone, for anything in life, is to keep good people around you and build a team of people that keep you focused, keep you positive, and are a good influence in your life. So I want to thank you. I know Mike and Hood are very incredible assets to our team that aren't in the room right now, but thank you to Mike and Hood, and thank you to Eli, and thank you to Ryan. Thank you guys.
Thank you, boys. Seriously.
We have a huge, huge year and many years in front of us, and thank you to everyone in the past that's ever helped us. But we have an amazing team, and we are very grateful for you guys. So thank you. Thank you very much. I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming next. And make sure you hit on notifications for Trilogy Media Podcast, because it's going to get
Just
lit.
The beginning. It's just the beginning. And we're going to show you a lot of awesome stuff.
So as we always say, thanks again as always for listening. And of course, as always, welcome to Trilogy Media Podcast. You already fucked up the name.
Trilogy Media Podcast.
It's not a trilogy podcast, because then that would be us talking about
Very
movies
true.
and shit.
All right, let's do it
which
again.
we might do. Yeah, we'll do it again. But we're going to keep the first one in so everybody knows that you fucked it up on the very first episode.
All right.
Thanks again as always for listening. And of course, as always, welcome to
Trilogy Media Podcast.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you soon. Bye.